And that was The Who right here on KRIM 96.3 FM. Good morning, Rim Country. Chris Higgins in the studio. Hope you're having a great Monday morning. It is beautiful out there. Once again, we are so blessed here in Rim Country with our beautiful, beautiful weather. Well, this morning, our Community Spotlight program, we're going to be talking to Skylar and Emily Brice with the Payson Warming Center. Good morning, both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming in this morning and sharing about the Payson Warming Center, the role, your mission, everything you guys do, because you do quite a bit over there, and I think there's some people that don't realize just all of the services, programs, and how many people also that you help in the community. So I think first, for those people listening and watching that maybe don't know that much about the Payson Warming Center, if you just want to let people know the mission, your role, what you guys do.
So we are a 7-day-a-week, 365-day-a-year soup kitchen. We also provide services, and when available, we do showers. If temperatures are inclement for 3 or more days, we are a warming center, which is a step down from a shelter, and it has to do with basically saving lives. So our number one goal in our area, which our area is the entire northern half of Gila County, is to provide opportunities for people seeking help and to keep people safe when needed. We also have the evacuation contract since the Backbone fire. And since we've started our mission, other expansions in our roles. We started, our first dinner was December 15th of 2019. We closed down early for COVID, and we opened in October of 2020 again. We haven't missed a single day of dinner since October of 2020.
Wow.
And in the last year, I'll just give the last quarter of the year, but we're up 25% from last year. And Emily does all the meals, or at least coordinates the meals get done. And over the first 3 months of the year, we've had 2,600 meals served, or hot meals served and clients served, which is about 29 people a day. And it kind of goes up and down because Monday we have the Christian clinic there. There's more clients on Mondays. Sunday, there's churches available, potlucks. Sunday is our quietest day.
So you mentioned that the bunkhouse is open during inclement weather if there's 3 days or more. So what qualifies or what are you looking at to say it meets those requirements?
Yeah, just being in need. We don't require much of anything. If we have to do a basic background check, things like that, police have always been very easy to work with us. We do not require ID. We can help you get ID, things like that.
And as far as the weather, though, the inclement weather.
It's just, this national standard is if the high is freezing for 3 or more days.
Gotcha, okay.
For us, because we don't have the infrastructure, I mean, we only have a couple snowplows for the whole county, things like that. We have made it so that the low stays 32 degrees or lower for 3 or more days.
Gotcha.
Or there is a hard freeze on the ground. So there's either way, especially if the ground gets a hard freeze, that is what makes it a very dangerous condition to live in.
Gotcha. And so it's that freezing weather, 3 or more days of where it's freezing weather.
Yes.
So the meals, you said since October of 2020, you have done dinners every night for people that need a meal. And it is anyone, correct? Because it is a community dinner, isn't it, Emily?
Yeah, it's a 7-day-a-week soup kitchen. It's a community dinner donated by the community. So local produce at local gardens, Star Valley, Payson Community Garden. We also have local ranchers or farmers that donate meat, canned goods, stock, everything is donated from the community. So people in need are men and women with children who are barely getting by. Maybe they're on the verge of homelessness. There's also families that are homeless living in vehicles at the grocery store parking lots at night because they can't get into a rental. We've had individuals who've been here for 30 years and their $800 a month rent went from $800 to $1,800, forcing the fixed income family to then go on the streets. So housing has been a big problem. The food insecurity in Payson is hitting a lot of people, not just our homeless population. So we're there to connect people who are just community members. They don't have to be homeless, they just have to be hungry and just want to be connected with their community. The 7-day-a-week meal starts at 5 and it ends at 6:30. We open our doors to everybody. We try to keep it a safe sanctuary so people can receive services. So if people are, maybe they're mentally ill or highly intoxicated or in need of mental health services or a detox, we try to get them into services within 48 hours because we do try to keep it a safe place at the Warming Center. The partnerships, we partner with all the food banks locally. If we have more canned goods, we'll give it to St. Vincent or the Presbyterian Church. We all work together, that way nobody goes hungry. We don't have a food problem here, we have a food logistic problem. Getting people to connect and share their goods that they have a surplus of. Sometimes we get 100 gallons of milk and we don't have the storage, so that's where partnership and talking to one another helps more people get fed.
Yeah, getting the food distributed, like you said, to all the different organizations that could use it quickly, that has storage capacity and other things. There are also, I believe, some businesses or organizations that contribute food. I don't know if it's a weekly basis, but on a regular basis for the dinner as well, isn't there?
Yes, thank God. I was doing it 7 days a week and it just wasn't realistic. And just like anybody, you gotta ask for help. So if I'm asking my clients that come in, hey, ask for help and ask for resources, I need to do that too. So I started asking the local restaurants, could you donate? We serve 50 servings a night. Our numbers are anywhere from 26 to 50 a night. Every day is like, we don't know. So we always have at least 50 to 75 servings. So Pizza Factory on Mondays stepped it up and they said, we don't have the time to be on the board or volunteer. We run a restaurant, but we love what you do and we want to give back. So that loving couple that owned Pizza Factory donate every Monday pizzas for Mondays. Tuesday it's the Post 69 American Legion and they do casseroles. We give them donated food like frozen hamburger meat and they make casseroles or sloppy joes. That way they don't have to come out of pocket. If restaurants are willing to cook for us, we have good food that they can use to cook for us to help the community.
And that's Jake and Marcy Shear, the owners of Pizza Factory, which that is great that they do that they're giving, that every week. And then Bobby is the one over at the American Legion. Bobby making the dinner every Tuesday night. I know he loves doing that.
Loves it.
Yeah, he loves it. He does, and it's great. There are so many wonderful people giving people in the community, so that's great to see.
And that was a mission of ours that you're mentioning a little bit earlier, is we really did not want to reinvent the wheel. We're both from this community and from this county. I have 5 generations to this county. And there's been projects and other efforts put forward that have already figured out a lot of the problems that we would have to if we don't just ask them. So most of the food banks, soup kitchens that had gone on, at least gave us their rules or what they did that they thought changed their program. Like one of the major ones we heard over and over was giving meals to go. They said you can maybe have 1 or 2 people take meals to go, but when you're having a community dinner, make sure everybody sits down and eats together. And we actually do that. You don't have to pray, but we pray before the meal, and everybody sits down together, and we don't salt the food over much, and then there's salt in the middle of the table. And you can ask someone to pass the salt. Like, it's an actual dinner. And that not reinventing the wheel and working with others, the Payson Area Food Bank, they've been around for 14, almost 15 years. They didn't have that little squirrel meter in the newspaper this year. And now we have almost no funds in the coffers. that lack of awareness, everybody just took it for granted, that, oh, of course it's
Yeah.
going on. Well,
Wow.
the awareness really took an effort. So that's the type of efforts that Emily and I are also involved with. That's 15 years of amazing experience and effort to make sure this community can go fed every night. And we need to work together to make sure that continues.
Wow, so that's a big one. So food donations, and hopefully, and I know I've heard of a few people talking about, in a few different organizations, talking about food drives, to where, you know, entry to an event or doing a fundraiser and it involving food, bringing non-perishable food item to get access or whatever, and then we go to the food bank. So yeah, hopefully those pick up here, or we have, you know, more of those happening. What other organizations do you work closely with?
Best, I would love to shout out the Christian Clinic, the
Okay.
Payson Christian Clinic. They have students there on Monday, every single Monday, to give us medical advice. And if the clients don't have anything, not an ID or anything, they can still be seen and get treated. And Dr. Hunt and Dr. Michaels and, what's her name? Another lady. Anyways, I'm forgetting. Geraldine. I had a J. Geraldine, they're on call, so if the students need a referral or need a prescription, they can get that right away. And that's every single Monday, and that's a huge, huge deal. At the Christian Clinic, they're finally expanding, which I just want to shout out very quietly. But they're gonna have 2 new rooms for other efforts, including dental, and another room for psychology and for mental health.
Wow.
And as a mental health advocate, I'm the National Alliance of Mental Illness, I'm the vice president for the state. Emily and I run classes and are deeply involved with NAMI. It's great to see the medical students taking an interest in that joint, and not letting it just be, let me take your blood pressure and then not care how your day is.
Yeah.
So with the connection, when people come in and meet the people that aren't in a hospital setting or a clinical setting, people are then more, that maybe had bad experience at an ER or at a healthcare provider. They're able to build the rapport like we do with them on a daily basis with dinner to get them to be safe and obtain the resources that they're coming in for. So with the Christian Clinic, that first time they see them, then they can say, hey, do you have a doctor? And if they don't, they can get them into services and get them a case manager at Southwest Behavioral Health and have somebody advocating for them. We're a hub and spoke model, so we can only do so much. So we try to connect people outside to the resources that are best going to be suitable for that individual. They're not local. We forgot to tell you about our Safe Landing program.
That's, I was just thinking about that. Yeah.
So
Please drop off.
with having partnership with Southwest Behavioral Health, CBI, the hospital, we have different ways to help individuals. Not everybody's coming in just hungry. Some people need health care. Some people are stranded in our community and they don't have a way to get home. So we connect with a safe landing. It's a Japanese proverb. When a mother bird makes one of her baby birds leave the nest, she makes a safe landing. So when it does jump, it doesn't, you know. So with this safe landing, we connect to resources out of state, out of town, that is with mom, with a rehab, with a familiar community that they know the language and the resources, that they can actually get the help. We can't take care of everybody in this community, only if they're from this community. We can't take care of Phoenix, Flagstaff, but we can take care of Payson. And we can take care of our community. We've shown with partnership, with collaboration, but when an individual isn't part of this community, it's hard to get reestablished to a community they're not from. So we will Greyhound or fly one way to a safe relative or safe person that they can get back to community. And that's how we're seeing people get reestablished back to their friends, family, and community, is connecting them to safe resources that they're familiar with. If they're locally from Payson, we can help you. We can connect you with the food bank, the DES, and all our local partnerships. But we definitely don't want other people to come in here and take our local
Resources.
poverty resources.
Yeah, and I think that's something that it's important that our community members are educated about that, because I do hear people say, some people say, well, oh, this warming center, it attracts and brings people to the community that are homeless, that need help. And I tell them, well, no, because the Safe Landing program, that's not their mission. People are attracted to this area because I think it's out of the valley, so in the summertime, cooler temperatures, and it's not just Payson, but it's the mountain communities outside of Phoenix. People, come up here to get out of the heat. Also, in smaller communities, they're friendly communities, not maybe as informed, or they're giving. So, and that was also, I guess, not so much a program, but awareness that you raise for locals to say, hey, it's not in a person's best interest for you to give them money if they're in front of Walmart, on the corner or somewhere, because there's a high probability that it's going to go towards something that's not good, and it doesn't go towards food, but something else. And where if it's given to one of these resources, if it's given to the warming center, to the food bank, if you give someone food, water, toiletries, then that can make a real difference instead of just giving someone money.
So we have at the Warming Center a no panhandling policy. So if individuals are receiving services, we can't see them on the corner, because we do have a life skill program for free to get them back into their community. If they're locally from here, that is one of our rules of coming to the Warming Center, is a no panhandling policy. That way, if you're local and you can stand on the corner for 8 hours, you can come in every Friday for 2 hours and help me cook the food. So another program is the Confidence Kitchen program. This is a way we rehabilitate people and give them self-development. Maybe they're not into culinary or any kind of cooking, but I can give you a schedule. Show up every Friday for 1 hour to 4 hours, and if you can come for 1 month, I can get you employed part-time somewhere. And then if you can show up every month for 4 hours at my Confidence Kitchen, I can get you fully employed with a willing employer in town that's working with me to get them full employment, to get them into housing, to get them rehabilitated back into their community. And that way, we can show the community, I can teach you how to fish, but I can't lead you to the water and drink it for you. It'll make you weaker, and it won't make you a stronger individual, and your self-development and purpose isn't there. So with this Confidence Kitchen, I've had a lot of success come out of it. One of our locals, he got his family back.
That's who I was thinking of too. He's very inspirational, and I see him and his family at he brings his daughters to the father-daughter dance, and it is just awesome to see him and his wife and children and how well they're doing.
And he had to really fight to get that, because I mean, he's fine with us sharing. We're not going to give his name, but if he comes on, he can share his story maybe. He was in a catch-22, which is where a lot of people were. You don't have someone to advocate for them. He was essentially not allowed to even be around his daughters because of a charge that he had not been able to clear up. He wasn't able to test or do anything in town, and Emily actually ended up driving him to Phoenix because that was the only place that he could get
He had to
services
do this
needed.
test in order to see his children, and I said, you know what?
You're
You're gonna see your daughters tonight, and I promise you, whatever I have to do, if we have to drive down to get this test in the valley, we will do it. And that day we went to the valley and got this test, and I think just because it wasn't because I dropped everything and took him down there, it was the connection. Somebody cared about me when I was homeless, and 3 words saved my life, and it was a police officer's wife who said, "Are you okay?" And I just thought, why does that lady care about me? I'm homeless, and you don't know me, but her connection is what saved my life, and it is what brought me to be a Christian and to believe in God and to run the Warming Center for these last 5 years. I definitely couldn't do this alone. This beautiful community has helped us. And this individual that came through our kitchen program, it was only one time, one day, and then it inspired him because he did have a culinary background. He loved cooking, and it brought him back to life.
Wow, yeah. Again, if you're just started watching or listening, talking to Skylar and Emily Brice with the Payson Warming Center, and the dinner that you did. So it was a fundraising dinner, but it was great because you showcased your culinary skills and some of the students and participants in the Confidence Kitchen program. They made courses and served them to people at a dinner at Mountain Bible Church, and that was amazing. It was so much fun. I mean, it was great to get together with people, to hear the different chefs describe their, what they made, the meal. So that was awesome. Yeah.
I want to mention in the segue.
That it was our first fine dining fundraiser where the Confidence Kitchen was able to show the clients who have actively been showing up to the kitchen, and they were unhoused. They still didn't have housing at that time. And they would show up to my kitchen, homeless, and I would just say, make sure you get a shower at the center the night before, and I'll bring you your chef coat. And they showed up, and we did a 5-course dinner for 100 people, and it was so awesome. And it gave those guys confidence, not only to want to better their lives, but it showed the community what you can do with just a little bit of confidence and encouragement and education. And somebody to advocate for you and have somebody on your side of the fence. So we're going to do that fundraiser once a year. It's going to happen in August at the Mountain Bible Church. We'll have dates later, but I'm going to segue into, we do have our 5th annual fundraiser. It's a Cinco de Mayo fundraiser. Usually we've had vendors, but this time we wanted to show the community that it's about community. And vending's all about community and seeing everybody's art. But I wanted the vendors this time to take part in dinner with us. And so the community is invited to Cinco de Mayo dinner. It starts from 3 to 6. It is an enchilada fundraiser. You buy them by the dozen. They will be hot and ready. You can take them home and eat them, or you can eat them with us. We'll have the same band we've had for 5 years. It's a local band that is just really full of spirit, and they're going to play their heart out. And we're going to have music and dinner from 3 to 6, and it's located at the Mount Cross Lutheran Church, 601 East Highway 260, Building A. And it is a Sunday, and if you'd like to order enchiladas, we're only going to be taking enchilada orders for the next 2 days. Because we already have 40 dozen already sold. So
people are ordering like 6 or 8 at a time. That's like,
The enchiladas are $20 for cheese, $25 for chicken or ground beef, and they are handmade in our Confidence Kitchen program. If you'd like to volunteer and get more involved, you can come stop by any day, 7 days a week. Located at the Mount Cross Lutheran Church, 601 East Highway 260, Building A. We open our doors at 4 p.m. You can come donate food, clothing, you can come take a tour. Just check us out. Dinner is open to the community. You don't have to be homeless. You just have to want good food. Our phone number for services is 928-474-3190, and that number is also a way you can call to get more information. To volunteer or learn how you can give back. If you are a local restaurant, we are asking, we need your help if you'd like to cook dinner for us. We can give you the food or you can donate the food. But I really appreciate this loving community.
Oh, I know. It's it's a great community with so many people that care, that want to help, and that give of their time. Not only finances, but time.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing, I think, that's the real difference, because there are people with money that they can give money, you know, buy food, and it doesn't impact them that much. But time, when you give your time, there's no price that can be put on that.
We have a forest ranger I'd like to shout out
Yeah.
for a moment. We have the point in time count, which is the federal count that they use nationwide to count the homelessness in the area. These very strange stratagems. In 2016, our entire county, all of Gila County, had 6 homeless people counted. That's it. That's not what was here, but that's what was counted. So the feds only cared about that number.
Yeah.
We are now close to 100 in this last count. I forget the exact number, but it was in the 70s or 80s in the count that went to feds for the Gila County area. That's going to be a tremendous boon to our resources. There was a single forest ranger who got, I think, 11 or 12 intakes just himself, but he had to be off duty. So he'd identify where the camps were and stuff while he was doing his rounds, and then come back all the way back out
And volunteer
on his time to do the point in time count. Go through a training to learn how to do the federal training, and then drove all the way back out and did all that. So he did double our 16 count, our 2016, just this one individual at this time.
Yeah.
So yes, you're right. Having the right expertise and time is the most valuable. We're young, we're willing to learn from from people who know what's going on.
Wow, and you know, it's great, again, as you stated, the community dinner, the dinner that's served, and what are the times again of the dinner?
Dinner starts 5 to 6:30.
5 to 6:30. It's open to everyone, anyone in the community. So I really encourage you, I was talking to someone about this morning. We're a small town. It's very easy to go and talk to people directly. Get your information. If you want to know about the Warming Center, you want to do a tour, you want to see what's going on, you want to talk directly to Skylar and Emily or volunteers that are there, you can go there. You can go there and see. I don't want to sound bad, but it's just the bottom line. Maybe don't listen to your neighbor or something you read or hear that says something and you question, I wonder if that's true. Go and find out. It doesn't take that much time. Go down, have a dinner, and see for yourself. See for yourself before you formulate an opinion on what. And it's not just with the Warming Center, but other organizations and people, groups, whoever it is. Talk. Talk to them. Find out for yourself.
The new teen center is a great example. They're next to the probation office, so it scares people, but it's awesome in there.
Yep, and who was it? The young guy. Who is running that now? Or there's the person, he came in. Jeremy.
Yeah, we love him.
Jeremy Simcoe. He came in and we're getting him, he's scheduled to come on the Community Spotlight program to talk about the teen center.
It's awesome.
Because he said that's kind of the, I don't want to say stigma, but people see the probation. They're like, ooh, I don't know if we want to go in there, but it's great, different.
It's a hidden gem for the youth.
Oh, it is. And different high school organizations and sports teams have been going in there, utilizing the facility. So that's great to see. And just more young people, more families need to know about the facility and everything that it has to offer. So that is good. Anything else you'd like to share?
Just thank you to the community for your donations. We have a full pantry for clothing and for distributing.
Nice.
Right now we're able to do showers every night thanks to the church. Another shout out to who just cleaned our carpets, All Stages.
All Stages.
He's on vacation right now, so safe travels. He's in DC at the moment.
I saw the pictures,
He donates at least quarterly to clean our whole place for us, and that's awesome. So thank you to another local.
With the small community, we can collaborate. It is between the food banks. If you have food or go to a church, donate to your church food banks. Donate to your food banks locally. because we're all sharing and we're all pulling from the same pot.
Mhm.
The library has a thing you can drop off at, if you
Yeah.
don't know.
Volunteer anywhere, because honestly, if you're helping your community at the Nook or New Beginnings or the Humane
Senior
Society,
center,
everybody
wherever,
has
yeah.
a passion, fill
Mhm.
it.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's going to, the better those organizations are doing, then the more they can help the other organizations and nonprofits that are in town with their mission.
So have you had the Christian clinic on here?
Not for a while,
Okay.
not in a little, for a little bit. We
There's
need
new
to-
students coming through, so that'd be great.
Yeah, need to get Dr. Hunt on. I know she's
Yes.
been on a couple times, and need to get her back on, because, yeah, they do just
Too much
amazing
work to do any
service.
PR.
Oh, I know, just how many people they serve in the community, it is amazing. So yeah, I need to get Dr. Hunt back on and have her share, and especially if they have new services, and like you said, the 2 rooms that are gonna open up for different services as well, that's great.
And she's breaking ground, you know, like us, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but we're doing a service that you can't point and say, like them.
Yes.
There's not a, like, we're doing
Mhm.
what's required here.
Yeah, but like you said, working with all these other organizations to where you're not duplicating.
Yes.
You have your mission and your focus, and instead of duplicating services that are being offered in other organizations, you network with them, the hub and spoke, just like you said, and that's, I think a lot of other organizations are doing that as well, because that just maximizes the efforts in the community instead of just duplicating, so it's great. So again, I encourage you, check out a community dinner at the Warming Center, and then also the event, the Cinco de Mayo enchilada fundraiser. Come out to that, but enchilada orders, are you kind of,
The orders, you can order for the next 2 days.
next 2 days, okay.
Give me a call at 928-951-3560.
Mhm,
Our
I-
Facebook.
I am a private chef, and so my business donates time
mhm.
also 5 days a week feeding. The
Yes.
other 5, out of the 7, my business feeds 5 days a week.
Wow, that's great, yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on today, for sharing, and again, I encourage you to get out. If you want to learn more about the Payson Warming Center, visit the center, and if you feel led and are able to contribute, whether it's your time volunteering or clothing, toiletries, financial donations, whatever it is definitely going to help a lot of people that need help. So, all right, well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone for listening and watching today. Thank you to Desert Financial Credit Union for sponsoring, and it's time to get back to the music with some Avett Brothers and Toad the Wet Sprocket, Brian Adams, and more. But first, a quick update from the National Weather Service.
With this morning's KRIM weather forecast for
Thank
the
you.
surrounding areas of
Shut this
Milton,
off.
Scoria,